of a reason to give a toast. I promise I won't embarrass you too much. So I'd like to thank you all for attending such a momentous occasion, the Patsy 90th birthday extravaganza. I don't know about you guys, but I don't think this lady is 90 years old. I think she's lying to us. But all in all, I would like to invite you to raise your glass. I don't have a glass. I'll raise this pitcher. And toast to this beautiful, unique woman over here. Happy 90th birthday, and may you have many more. Now, Uncle John over there with the beautiful poster, I don't know if you noticed this, but it says words to describe Pat. And all these wonderful people who are staring at you wrote down a word when they came in, and it's their word to describe you.
My word was farm. And someone might say, why farm? That's not a really descriptive word. But in my mind it is, because it is her essence. It's what grounds her. It's what makes her happy. When she's out traveling the world, as we know she has, she is so happy to return to her farm and just walk the property and sit on her porch. And it's just, it's everything to her. It really is very meaningful to her. And just to look out and notice the geese and notice the frogs and notice whatever happens to be in the meadow. So that was my word.
Pat is the caring individual who always is reaching out to those who in a walking tour that are no longer in the walking tour because of physical needs, and she's always going to visit them.
Yes, I do. I have a word. It's role model for me, and for several reasons. One is being a farm girl, and also a retired nurse. And you've been an inspiration to me over the years, and I've just enjoyed being your friend and thankful for you and your family. And I hope you have many more birthdays. Thank you.
Not too many more, please.
I have known Pat since back in the 1940s, when we were both students at Pitt. So we go back a long time, don't we, babe? Okay, my word was expanded horizons. And why I picked that was her involvement with Mount Wavia, the book club at the library, the classes she took in continuing education up at E-Town. She's always into something new, and now she's into art. However,
I couldn't be limited to just one word, so I picked two, and then I had to tack on a third, but my word was, why not? And it was, I thought that was the essence of the way that you approached life, that everything was duly considered, and even if your choice seemed odd to other people, it was like, well, why not do it? And it's played out in so many ways, like taking on the nursing role with the polio campaign, the time that you took the administrator of a hospital to task for not having the best equipment. I mean, art, everything, it was just this attitude of why not? But then if I heard her talking, it would be strung out. It was like, well, why not? And I'm sure I've heard that.
Well, thank you. And that's advice for all of you, to keep interested in something. You have to have interest in something to keep going, and that's what keeps you going.
Yep.
That's my, when you get old, people want sage advice. That's sage advice.
That word is rather strange. And I would also like to say I'm probably the second oldest person here today. I'm only 84.
I'm 85.
Thank you for making me feel young.
Third. You're the third.
But my word for Pat, strangely enough, was graveyard friend. Now, I met Pat through the historic walking tour when I moved to Lancaster. And through the years, I began to discover that Pat was from Western Pennsylvania, where I was. And the more I got to know her, the more things became familiar. And I found out that her father is buried about a half a mile from where I grew up.
Oh my goodness.
And also, we had connections in Pittsburgh. My sister was a school teacher in Pittsburgh, and she was in the same town as Pat was. But we never met until we got together here in Lancaster. So that's where the idea of graveyard friends came from.
Besides, we've done some tours in the graveyard.
I'm Norma from the Mountjoy Book Club too. I've known Pat for about 10 years. I think we started the book club, didn't we? A little over 10 years ago. My word is witty. She always makes me laugh. She always makes, I don't know, maybe you could say humorous, but I don't know, whenever she opens her mouth, you know, it's kind of witty to me, you know, whatever she says, and she always makes me feel good.
It's Engel, and I'm sort of like a baby of a friend because I've only known her maybe 8 or 10 years. But it's been great years. I'm with her younger book club group in Mountjoy. We've been together, well, 10 or 11 years, but I didn't come till about the 8th year. And I mean the 3rd year. But I think it was about the 8th year before any of us realized that Pat was up in her 80s. We couldn't believe it. We couldn't believe it. And we all learned so much from her. But the word I have is fierce, because Pat would reveal little tidbits about herself, such as, well, there was a show on at the Fulton, and they'd sold out the tickets, but I wanted to see it, so I just went down there, and I figured they'd either have a ticket or I'd just sneak in. And she did. But the other thing I know about Pat is she is a thinking person, and she has definite opinions, and so do I, and we often end up expressing our opinions after book club, and often they're different, but we part as friends. Yes, and
Politics.
yeah, and she's the only 90-year-old I know that was published in the Lancaster paper recently. So I think she's fierce.
Starting with the eldest is Richard, and he is the owner of this house. Yeah. Next to him is Thomas, and he is the father of my grandchildren. David, that's the he likes to think he's part of that family. And then David, number 3 son, he's the one who lives in California, and young son John. And we have my wonderful daughter-in-law Linda and granddaughter Kayla, who I know have instigated all of this and decorated and made bouquets and everything. So thank them.
Where's Greg?
It's all theirs.
And Gregory? Where's Gregory?
Oh, Gregory, where is Gregory?
Come on in. There he is.
Oh, there!
Okay.
Gregory, the grandson, the youngest member of the family. And how old are you?
13.
All right.
13 boy.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Pat. Somebody. Happy birthday to you.
Good thing I took my Advil this morning. tell all of you people, whatever I am, whatever I do, whatever is a part of me, is all of you. You've all affected me some way, either in your mannerisms, your smile, your talk, your walk, your speech, your morals, or whatever. You've all affected me, and so I am all a part of you. And I thank you all because you have been wonderful friends, wonderful people, and I enjoy every single one of you.